And on the motherfucking stream though, that's gonna be bad because you have to wait 7 seconds or 8 seconds before you start to curse. What's happening? Welcome to Platform 246. Thank you so much for stepping up with us. Look at my son's face. Let me fix the camera. Now you get the back feed. But again, hello everyone. Oh, there we go. Welcome to Platform 246. Thank you so much for stepping up. I am Lawrence. This is my son, Damien. As you may or may not know. If you do know already, welcome back. How are you doing? Good to see you. We have some questions that we want to get into today. Just some shit that's going on. Spongy, what the fuck are you doing, Spongy? What the fuck's up? Welcome in, though, sir. Folks, as you do know, though, this is an interactive show. We try to make it that way at all times. So the link is in the comments. Again, welcome to Platform 246 with myself, my son. We have sips for you today. My apologies for being late. We were doing some things. We had business to take care of. So my apologies. We are here with you now. How has everyone's week been? It's been a while, really, since we've been live. So I just want to say hello to hello, MSC Tima. Hello, how are you doing? I think this is the first time I'm going to say miss that I have had the pleasure of seeing you in the comments. So, son, say hello to Miss Simmons. I don't even know how to. I don't want to mess your name up. I'm doing it up with all love. Believe me, okay? But it looks like that said Miss C Tima. But please share the video around with a friend. Let folks know that we're live. We have some Niner things to talk about. Niner gang or don't bang, son. Right now, before we get into how are you feeling now that football's dead? We are actually 70 days, folks. Is that 60? Is that 60 or 60? 60? I figured it was Fatima. Okay. Well, Miss Fatima. Boom, son, you could have hit it up. Boom. Thing doesn't work. Shut up, Spongy. Okay, Miss Fatima, it's a pleasure. Welcome. All right, Spongy, let me see something. Hold up. And again, this is an interactive show, as I say. The link, I believe, is now once again in the comments. Spongy saying the link doesn't work, but you can hit that. We try to ask you to keep it to about 2 minutes on what you want to say, if you can. If not, we understand. I talk a lot. Maybe you do too. Are you shaking your head to that?
I am actually, yeah.
Okay. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Speaking of teenagers that irritate me, as we get ready for the stream, Spongy.
Yo.
What's happening, Spongy?
Nothing.
Sorry.
Nothing.
How have you been, sir? Thank you for stepping up. What's been going on with you?
Nothing.
Well, you can't come on a stream and say nothing, Spongy. So let's go. Spongy, by the way, folks, if you don't know, is 12 years old? He's 12.
Something like
And he has this kind of knowledge and expertise about the game. Dropping knowledge and nuggets and crystals on y'all. Okay. What's happening to Tommy? Carcast in the building. Oh, it's getting real interactive right now. Let's do it. And hopefully we don't. Hold on. Holy shit. We have people everywhere. All right. Carcast in the building. Yo. My other son in the building. Big Play Trey. What's happening?
Dang, bro.
Bebop. What's good, sir? Thank you for stepping up with us. He's 12. He's not even 13. Are you 13 now, Spongy?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. All right. How's your week, though? Carcast, how are you doing, sir? Carcast.
Carcast.
Carcast is muted.
Oh, my fault. I'm muted. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We are doing good. How you doing, son?
I'm doing great, too.
I'm wearing my conference championship shirt right now.
Say again for us.
Buddy.
What up now? You killing me, Spongy.
I think he said
he's wearing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You had the conference championship.
I think.
God,
You
I
got your
hate
share?
that dude.
Sip to Carcast and Spongy and Damien. Man as I like to call him. I feel I didn't put his business out there right now. That's my name on the secrets. Okay. And then we have Big Play Trey for the Young Niners. Give a shout out to the Young Niners. I have nothing but Young Niners on with me right now. My two sons, Carcast,
Young Eagle. Young Eagle.
Spongy. Oh, he's a baby Niner.
I thought he was an Eagles fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Spongy is an Eagles fan, folks. We do not hold that against him. We don't. We still love Spongy. Yes, but sorry, Spongy Hurts had his chance to win the Super Bowl, and he fumbled it away. Fumble six, as I heard right after that took place. Yes, like a pick six. You all know what it is, right? Boom, he just slipped it right over his hand like he was drunk.
Yeah.
Somebody give me something. Talk to me, folks. What's going on? Y'all about to get kicked right out. I'm about to throw y'all right off the platform. Have y'all seen that movie, The Platform? I think there's a movie out called The Platform right now.
I have not seen that.
And I think they eat each other, or that, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
But no, let's get into it. I asked the question. I ain't gonna put y'all on the spot like that, my G's. First question I had, what we're gonna get into today, Faithful, is about the Glock. As some of you out there may say, the cock, Brock Purdy. Okay, I want to know first and foremost, and I'll even do a banner. First of all, what is Brock Purdy? That's not 49ers Tuesday. It's Thursday though. What exactly is he? Is Brock Purdy? He's not yet, but if you ask the NFL media, he's primed to be. Is he a superstar? Can he be a superstar? Shut up.
He can be a superstar, but I don't think he's one yet.
Okay, there you go. All right, so explain to me, why do you think he can be a superstar? If you can, explain to me. Let's see. What about Brock can make him a superstar?
Well, first and foremost, he reminds me of a mini Russell Wilson. This guy has all the intangibles you want. He won, what was it, like 9, 10? It was something crazy like that in a row. Was putting up 25, 30 points a game. Obviously, he had great players around him, but you got to give credit where it's due. I'm not saying that he's like an MVP quarterback, all that, because we haven't seen a whole season out of him. It was a small stretch, but I still think he has the potential because you saw it was in front of your own eyes. We watched the tape. It was kind of interesting because he was playing well up to that Dallas wildcard game where he actually faced for formidable defense. Where that was the first time I think for every Niner fan where you actually saw Brock Purdy under pressure. Because before that, Brock Purdy, he wasn't really facing like good D lines, just an overall good defense. So I felt like that Dallas game was the first big test, and I think he still came out and he bounced back from the first drive, still played well, drove the offense down the field. Even in that Seattle game, 400 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than Jimmy Garoppolo in his first ever playoff start. It was something crazy like that. So I of course think the sky's the limit for this guy. Of course he has the potential. It's just I don't think he's there yet. But if he keeps improving on his game, if he keeps working hard, then of course he can do it.
Well said. Son, what do you think about Brock?
Well,
your outright thoughts about him. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm right on the same wavelength there as Carcast. I just want to add a little bit. It was his very first time playing in the NFL, and we've seen multiple times that can help a lot for quarterbacks, So it'll be interesting to see what he can do this year if he gets that chance. But I think he can definitely be a superstar. Hopefully Trey is more of a superstar and whoever is more of the superstar, then I'll take that. But hopefully we can see Trey play and he's a superstar, and we will need to see Purdy play.
Spongy, even as an Eagles fan, even though he played for you for about 5 quarters of real football, 5 plays of real football. I don't even know if it was that many. I think he got hurt on the second play or the third play of the game. Lucky you.
No, it was like the first quarter, but that was a fun game. I will say that was a fun game. But
Okay, go ahead. What do you think about Brock?
Yeah. Well, I think.
Excuse me.
I think that your question was what is Brock Purdy? And currently he's an injured quarterback, like Tommy said. He is an injured quarterback. He was right about that.
Man, screw Hassan Reddick.
Keep on with your shit, okay?
You want me to pull up the picture?
No, I don't picture? Actually. Don't change your profile picture. None of that crap that you be doing. No, just what are your thoughts outside of being an injured quarterback, like Tommy said? Shout out to you too, by the way, Tommy. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to CarCast, Crazy Juice, my man Tommy, Little Spongy. Definitely Miss Fatima because I think that is the first time that I've seen you. See what I did there? I'm so good. CarCast and stop, son. Oh, by the way, CG, what's up to you coming in early? Well, thank you for coming back, CarCast. Sincerely, I appreciate that. And he says facts. So, Spongy, what are your thoughts though? You think he can play, or you think he may be overhyped right now?
I mean, right now he's probably a little bit overhyped because he won a few games for you guys, but you didn't get a full sample size yet. You get a whole season. What did he have, like 7 games or something? And did he win every single one or something like that?
Right, 8 games, and then
8 games.
Yeah, won all of them except for, of course, the one he got hurt.
Yes,
I believe he was 11-0 before he got hurt, Spongy.
Yeah, like 11-0, but like say something like
it was 8-0.
I mean, I'm sorry, son, including the playoffs or 10-0. It's my fault then. Yeah,
was it?
Including the 2 playoff games. He played 2 playoff games and then he got hurt in the third one.
I thought the 2 playoff games gave him 8.
No, he came in. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. How many games did Purdy win before? Because again, I'm old. I smoke.
It started from that Dolphins game. Was it Dolphins or the Bucs game? I forgot what week.
Dolphins. He came in on the Dolphins game. Correct. He came in during the Dolphins game.
What week was that? Hold on.
I think that was like week 9. It was either week 9 or week 10. I think we had to buy. I'm not positive. So, you got it. You right, son. Thank you. Crazy Juice, Brock Purdy, amen. My man McNiner, but my man Bebop will always get you back. Please hit the like button, folks, by the way, if you don't mind. I sincerely appreciate it. We appreciate it. He was 6 wins straight in the regular season and then 2 in the playoffs. So he went 8-1. Thank you so much, McNiner. What's up to you, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you. He went 8-0 up until the injury bug bit his ass. So until the injury bug, what do you think? Spongy, that's what I need to hear from you. And everybody, again, as you can see, this is a call-in show.
And 8-1.
Last final thoughts from the 2 of you from me. Go ahead, Spongy.
8-1. If you think about it, I mean that's a good stat line. He did have a lot around him. He had the pieces to make him a good quarterback, like you could say happened to Jalen Hurts, and that's the only reason he's good. But that's a different story.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Since we're talking about overrated, but I think that's another story for another day.
Oh, God.
Brothers, CarCast, what about you? Real quick, any final words for you?
No, I think we all hit on that. That was good.
Oh, good. Absolutely, man. So, well, thank you, brothers, both, for stepping up with us, sincerely. Hopefully, you can stay around with us in the comments. Hit the like button. Share the video with a friend, too. Y'all have a whole bunch of young friends. I know you do. Tell them that there's this old bald guy, and his kids hang out with him sometimes. Come fuck with him. Tell your boys. Just wanted to know you've done it already. I appreciate y'all. We'll see you, all right?
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having us on.
Always. All right, y'all. So, yeah. So my thoughts. I'm asking everybody, and let me know in the comments, please, as well, what you think about him. That is Brock the Glock Purdy. We don't say BCB on this channel anymore. We pretty much stopped that. Like after that Tuesday after it happened, we stopped it. We might have actually another guest in the building. Guest, are you ready? We got the OK Jose. Boom. Big play Trey in the building. What's happening, sir? I'm sorry, you're muted, son.
Of course I am. What's happening?
What's going on? Welcome to the platform. Have you been being safe?
Have I been being safe? Yes, I've been being safe. Right
on. Got both of my sons on with me, folks. It gets no better than this. Sorry, son, to get that contact. All right, so folks, Trey, since you just coming right on, did you get that thing done today?
I did get that thing done today.
Let's see it. Live in Technicolor. Debut. My teenage sons, they just got done driving with one, literally. And then the other one just went on an excursion today on his own. What did you get done, son? Can I see it?
I mean, it'd be pretty difficult, but yeah. Give me 1 second. We can continue the conversation a while. We can continue the conversation a while,
Will do. Now I'll give my thoughts for you folks on Brock Purdy, on the Glock, okay? Like I said, we don't call him BCB on here. It just didn't feel good with my heart, okay? After like 2 days of it, like we started all that on Sunday when he just was going wild. Maybe it was a Dolphins game. Probably was a Dolphins game. By Tuesday, I was done calling him the cock, okay? I only say cock on pretty much Saturday. Subscribe to the channel. We will be live Saturday afternoon on the cock. The only time we are on Cox that day, Saturday afternoon, Peacock app, WWE, Money in the Bank. We will be live streaming Money in the Bank on Saturday. So please step up with us then too. But my thoughts on Brock are, they say that Brock Purdy is, some people want to say he's Drew Brees light. Or he's a junior Drew Brees. It's some things that I've heard as far as comparisons with Brock Purdy. Personally, for me, I don't see that just yet. Drew, there's about the same height, barely creeping over 6 feet, creeping on the come up, as they say. Shout out to the first of the month crew. What the fuck is his name at? Boys in the Hood? No. Whoever the fuck sings the first of the month, shout out to them. But yeah, creeping on the come up, he be able to be a star. I just don't see a superstar in Brock Purdy. And I don't see it personally because I don't think that he has the physical talent to do so. I don't think he's going to be Drew. Now, if he's Drew Brees, I will personally come on here and just blow him up. But I don't think that he is. I feel that he's shorter James Garoppolo. It's really what I think, with maybe a little bit more nuts. He has more balls than James does. I will say that. He's also very young, and he didn't have 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons of constantly throwing just ridiculous interceptions at the worst possible time. So he's maybe not as gun shy as James is, but I see him just being maybe a little bit better, but a little bit shorter than James Richard Garoppolo. He doesn't push the ball down the field the way that I say that probably Trey and even Sam Darnold, as bad as he is, Sam Darnold can push the ball down the field. Now, a stat I saw came out today, is Thursday? Maybe it was Tuesday, from another content creator. And he stated that Brock Purdy is a 58% completion percentage quarterback when he's not targeting George Kittle or Christian McCaffrey. Did you know that? 58%. He was about 66, 67, I think, which is what you want your quarterback to be. But when he's not targeting Kittle or CMC, 58%. Trey Lance never had a chance to play with Christian McCaffrey. We won't even get into that yet. Thank you. Miss Fatima, I love you already. That's exactly what we're looking for. Hit the like button for Fatima, please. Yes, I don't know why it slipped my mind. Maybe it's because, but Bone Thugs and Harmony, yes. Shout out to them. Definitely one of the best rap groups ever, if not the best. I would throw Outkast in there too. So again, Brock 58% when he's not targeting Kittle or CMC. Trey hasn't had a chance to play with them. Obviously, Sam Darnold hasn't. We'll see what's going to happen when we get to training camp. So hearing that, what do you think, Trey? What do you think, Damien, about Brock? Does that change your opinion at all?
No, not really. And I think it's not super duper fair to give him a comparison yet. He only played 8 games, so I think it'll definitely be interesting, like I said, to see this season how that goes. But and Jimmy comparison is kind of a low bar you said there, or not a low bar, but like a low standard. Like that was like, I think me personally, for right now, Jimmy's here, and like Brock is like here, right? So
a lot of space between them.
I don't really think he's a Jimmy, or even if a little bit above Jimmy. Me personally.
So you think he's considerably better than James?
Well, yeah. I mean, and James did do good this season, or better than what he normally would do. But we were putting up 30 points once Purdy got in, which is what we should have been doing all season, really. So yeah, I think he is a lot better, me personally, or maybe not a lot better, but definitely a considerable amount.
Trey, what's up, Daniel?
I think
she agrees. Mm-hmm.
I think if Brock Purdy doesn't get injured on the first play of the Eagles game, we win the Super Bowl and we beat both teams, and it's not even close.
Okay, hold on. You think BCB would have came back? BCB would have went into that building, into that stadium, and beat Patty,
and it wouldn't have even been close. I don't think.
Well,
I don't even think it would have.
That's how you raise your children. All right.
Because
why?
We can just start off with the Eagles. I still feel the Eagles are one of the most overrated teams in the NFL. Jalen Hurts had one good season, and all of a sudden, everybody can't let him go. He had one good season and played against a bunch of mediocre teams throughout the entire season. He had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. And then still almost choked number 1 seed for us. We were a game under them. Had they lost, we would have gotten number 1 seed. And they almost choked that to the Colts, the worst team in the NFL at the time. But anyway, their defense got a whole lot of sacks. But as we've seen in the Super Bowl, how many points did they allow to Patrick? 35?
I think so.
And all they had was Kelsey. It was Mahomes and Kelsey the whole game. Well, no, they did get a touchdown, so they only allowed, if they got 38, they only allowed like 31 points. Hurts gave up a touchdown on a fumble.
Touchdown, okay, yeah.
But they gave up 31 points to just Mahomes and Kelsey. If Brock Purdy doesn't get injured, I mean, I really don't see how anybody was able to stop that team. Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, CMC, and then Brock's ability to move and get away. I don't see how anybody could stop that. And our defense, and you can't even take it, it's not even an excuse. On that opening possession where they went down and scored a touchdown on us, if they had called that correctly, Brock Purdy probably doesn't get injured. We just got to think about that, because it was fourth down, fourth and 7, and they got a big catch downfield. that was dropped. They showed it in a replay. He didn't catch it. The ball hit the
Right.
floor, but the referee ended up giving it to them. And then a couple plays later or so, they score a touchdown. If they do that and we get the ball right then and there, Brock Purdy doesn't get injured, or he should have gotten the ball. So we already showed our defense is able to hold them all the way to fourth down and then turn the ball over. Turn the ball over on downs. But of
Yeah.
course, we don't get the possession. And then Brock Purdy gets hurt on his first touch of the game. Now for Patrick Mahomes, he was playing with one of the worst defenses in the NFL. If he was going to win against us, he and Kelsey alone would have had to keep up with our offense, but then that's going against our defense. And
Right.
I don't see how anybody could do that. It was the number one defense. He wasn't keeping up with them. Not just him and Kelsey, and he was injured a little bit. He was slightly limping, or I know it got worse in the game, but he was slightly limping going into that game. It just wouldn't have happened. He and Kelsey would have had to keep up with us. And unlike the Eagles, our defense is actually good. Our defense isn't overrated and isn't over isn't overhyped because of how many sacks we get a game. Now we can actually cover downfield and stop receivers from catching the ball like a defense should, and not choke like we did a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. Thanks to who? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Absolutely.
Let us know if you still blame Jimmy Garoppolo for the Super Bowl loss, or if you never did blame him for the Super Bowl loss. We'd like to know what you feel. My sons both apparently they'll feel Brock Purdy is him. He is real. He's the real deal. Apparently, I have reservations just because.
And I'll just say one more: whether you blame Jimmy for the Super Bowl loss or not, he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. Way overthrew Emmanuel Sanders on a wide open touchdown with like 4 minutes left to go to take the lead. Whether you blame Jimmy or not, he did that. So that was all him.
For that. I'm sorry. Yes, it was all him, all him. And for you asshole on Twitter, that guy, our fave loser. That's what James did. That's what he did in the Super Bowl. He overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. Some of you 49ers fans and content creators are like, speaking of that, again, Brian Cope and Tony Cope, welcome to the Copes. Thank you so much for stepping up. How y'all doing? Good night to you. Kiss the babies. Hopefully your babies are good. There's a guy on Twitter, my own Flaves. He's setting the 49ers content creator and 49ers community ablaze right now with his takes. Basically, racism against Trey, in my opinion. But, Trey Lance is just horrible. Jimmy apparently is better than him. James would have been better than him. He doesn't know. He said on someone's show, I believe it was Eric Crocker's show, he said, I don't know what Jimmy did in the Super Bowl that fucked us, when he was asked by, I believe, a guy named Roscoe. So, yeah, that was going around really big and viral in our circles over the last maybe day or two. So that's what he did. He sucked. He overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. Purdy can get – I think Purdy – okay, so let me ask y'all this. Will Purdy have made that completion to Emmanuel Sanders? The ball was about 40 yards down the field. Does he have a 40-yard arm? We know that's about the barrier. 50 is – that's when you're starting to get into your king shit, right? 50 and above. But if you can complete it 45 yards in the air, you've got a gun. Can Purdy make that pass and on target at that? It's not just being able to throw the ball to you. Got to be on target with the ball, which, by the way, Trey Lance appears to be pretty on target with deep balls. That's all.
Well, in his first ever start, in the first ever 8 games, Oh no, wait, no, I think that was his first ever start. In his first ever start, he hit, I think, yeah, it was both Brandon Ayuk and CMC deep downfield. Um, was it? Yeah, outside the numbers, both
Deep
deep
downfield.
downfield and outside the numbers. Yeah, I think it was.
Hello, Miss Jess. Really quickly, pleasure to have you.
I say that maybe the Brandon Ayuk one was about 35 yards,
Okay.
but both were caught in the end zone. He got both on target and both were caught in the end zone. They didn't have to run into the end zone. Both were caught in the end zone. He threw end zone balls and both were on target and both were caught, and we got 14 points out of it. Outside the numbers.
Really quickly. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Outside the numbers. It doesn't even have to be because I saw you. We all know Brandon Lloyd. All of us. I'm not sure if my babies know, but we all know Brandon Lloyd. And today I happened to come across on Instagram just a video of his highlights, and it was just reminding us before there was Odell, there was Brandon Lloyd, and we all know he actually made more than that one catch that you all know, faithful, which was thrown by I think Tim Rattay, or it could have been even Rick Meyer. They have better. I don't know that the ball came out like fire on that pass, that one-handed catch that we all know Brandon Lloyd made. Right, it came out like fire, and I believe that was Tim Rattay or some shit like. Does Purdy have that kind of arm? I don't think he does, and I don't think that Drew Brees ever had, especially not late in his career. But I don't know that Drew Brees had that kind of arm, and I'm not talking Trey's arm or Patrick Mahomes' arm or Josh Allen's arm or Chicago Cat's arm. I'm not talking them. I'm just saying, or Michael Vick. I'm not talking that kind of shit. I just mean a good, strong arm because he, to me, is just not big enough to do that. And I think that the biggest thing for me that go ahead, hold on. The biggest thing for me for Purdy is that everybody's open in this offense. Get on Madden. Now, me against one of my kids, it doesn't really go. It doesn't go like that. But get on Madden with Kyle's offense. It's not a joke. Everyone is always open, and it's two people generally are open on a play, on any given play. And now what I will say he can do, and he doesn't even do as good as James yet, is he processes, he can get to his next level, his 1, 2, 3, whatever. James can do that pretty quickly and pretty efficiently, but he's a 9-year veteran. But he can't, if he gets to someone and they're down the field, can he get them the ball accurately and on time if it's not the first read or the second read? I think he's a 2-read quarterback at max, at most. And I think that he only has a certain limit to where he can get the ball down the field accurately and on time. Also, something that Drew Brees was a master of, and one of the reasons I think he was probably so good as a whole is he was a master in the pocket. Purdy is not. Purdy tries to escape. He's very athletic, but he doesn't move up in the pocket. He doesn't manipulate the pocket. Again, he's still just a rookie, but all of you want to say that he is Jesus. So, a lot of you, right? You want to say he's Jesus. So then on the other side, oh, well, he's just a rookie. So he doesn't know. Which one is it? Trey, go ahead.
All right. What comparison did you make that you said Jimmy was better than Purdy? You said he processes through.
Yeah. Right. He can process, but he can't get past the second read, I think.
Okay. And then
let me know if you agree, Faithful. Do you think he's more than a 2-read quarterback? Because I don't. I haven't seen it.
And okay, so speaking on that, if James, we can say he's better at going through his progressions and getting the ball out, yeah. But of how many times in Brock Purdy's eight games did not being able to go through his progressions hurt us? How many times did him being quick to scramble out of the pocket hurt us? Hurt us seriously, if at all. He might not be able to go through his progressions, so he'll scramble. He might not be good in the pocket, so he might scramble out. But how many times has that hurt us? Hurt us really? Because yeah, we were telling him, Brock, stop rolling to your left, but we were never saying, Brock, stop rolling out of the pocket, because James never did that. James couldn't do that. So not being able to get to your third progression, sure, that's not something you want for your quarterback. But something else you don't want for your quarterback is him not being able to move anywhere at all. If Brock Purdy if he can only go through two people and he sees those two people aren't open and he starts to move, he moves, extends the play, and then maybe somebody does get open. Or he moves, extends the play,
Right.
and then throws the ball away. Unlike James, where if he tries to move, he'll get jittery, he'll start freaking out, 12-yard loss. And then another thing.
All right, and I think it's.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, I think it's a lot better to have someone move out the pocket too quick rather than stay in too late.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. And another thing, you were talking about Brock Purdy's inability to throw the deep ball, right? How many guys on our team are deep threat wide receivers? Are any of them?
Two.
Well, are three. Any of our guys?
I don't even count Ray.
Is Debo a deep threat wide
Danny
receiver?
Gray. Debo?
Ray, Danny Gray. No. So you just listed two
Big
guys
ass?
who
heavy ass? No.
Don't. Debo?
No.
Or you said
We're underestimating. We're underestimating. We have a flash on our team, son. We have a B.A. Barry Allen. Boom. We have a B.A. Flash on our team. Brandon Ayuk is a deep threat, faithful. He just has not been unlocked with James and Brock. That's my humble opinion. Go ahead, son.
Well, is it
we
because
have three
of Brock?
Deep threats on our team.
Is it because of Brock or is it because of the way Kyle Shanahan's offense is run? Is it Brock's fault?
But you're right. You're right.
Is it Brock's fault that BA hasn't been able to catch 50, 45-yard bombs downfield? He said it himself. We are a run
Kyle
first
knows
offense.
He can't do it.
Or maybe
what does Trey do? What does Trey always get that? No, he hasn't called these plays for any other quarterback. We all saw them. The plays to Debo, the fucking one across the two of them, I think, to Debo, right? The play action, the big rollout. He doesn't call those plays he didn't call them for James. That's what I'm saying.
James was just unable to move.
I think, son, it's he can't do it. Yeah, he can't do it.
James couldn't do it.
But I don't think he thinks he'll complete it. His arm is not strong enough. And the same thing with Brock Purdy. He does not call those plays he did not call those plays over those 8 games for Brock Purdy. Am I wrong to you and to the faithful, to all of you watching? Am I wrong? Did he call those plays that we know he has in his bag? They're in his bag.
Okay,
but we are a run first offense to hit you. Matt Ryan got the MVP. Why? Because Matt Ryan can literally make every throw on the field, right? And they had a great offensive line, so he didn't have to be Michael Vick back there as a Falcon when he does the play action. Just had to be good. And he's tall, he can see over everything. It was perfect, right? But Matt Ryan can make all the throws, son. So that's my question.
Okay, so if he didn't call those plays for Brock Purdy, why is that Brock Purdy's fault? Now, we don't know if he didn't call them because he just didn't call them because he wanted to call other stuff because they were working, or maybe he just saw in practice he couldn't do it. We can't say Brock Purdy is bad and can't do that when we've never seen him do that. It's the same argument we're having with Trey Lance. We can't stick up for Trey Lance and say give him a chance, and then turn around and say Brock Purdy can't do this when we don't know. We don't know if he can do that or not because Kyle hasn't called it for him.
That's a great.
But if BA is a deep threat wide receiver,
Great point.
that
What do you
if
think?
BA is a deep threat, that is one deep threat on our team. It's Debo, who is not a deep threat. He is get the ball in his hands and let Debo create the play after. Kittle, get the ball in his hands and let him create the play after. CMC, get the ball in his hands and let him create the play after. Those are our top three guys right now. Brandon Ayuk said it himself. He's the number 4 option on a run first team. So even if he is our deep threat guy, he's the number 4 option on a run first team. Ray is he fourth? Is he fourth on the depth chart right now? And then Danny Gray is 5.
Right.
I mean, they have potential, but are we really counting those guys right now as our deep threat wide receivers?
I don't count Ray, and he's not a non-played rookie coming out of rookie season. He's a vet. I already don't count him. He scored on a reverse. Hope you remember that, Faithful. That play was beautiful. But if I'm not mistaken, it was a reverse. It wasn't any route that he ran whatsoever.
Nope.
I'm not saying he's a scrub or he's a bust, which we love as a Niner Faithful, right? We love that word. Right? No, I'm not saying that he's not a good he can't play wide receiver, but I don't even barely look at Danny Gray as a wide receiver at all.
Yeah, I look at him also as kind of more of a running back, even though he's not. I do see him as more especially after he ran that reverse for 75 yards. I do kind of see him as more of a running back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Here's a question.
yeah, we can count.
Do we think that we should pass the ball deep more? Because we're doing great passing it short. Now, if we start to throw it deep, will that mess up our short game?
I would like Son to start throwing the ball deep more. It's like I forgot that's the 49er way that was in our life at some point in time. My sons haven't got a chance to really even see that in their life. Us with the deep ball. We all know it's in the league. Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, it's to a lesser extent maybe Hurts. It's in the league. There are people who throw the ball 40 yards in the air consistently a game, and we don't never see those plays. Faithful, we never see those plays. A 40-yard in the air pass. It doesn't take but 4 seconds. But we don't ever do we ever see that? Go look at those fucking plays for Kyle in Atlanta. He called them. Now, mind you, they had Julio Jones, but he still called them.
Okay, and then
it wasn't all just
talking about that. If we start doing those deep balls, yes, we want them because they're great. They look great on the highlight reel. But then if we do that, there are no more 9-play, 13-minute drive. Let the defense get all that rest, come out fired up, ready to go, because the offense was just on the field for 13 minutes and scored a touchdown. We went up 7, but we were on the field for 10, 11 minutes. And if we start throwing those deep balls, there's no more of that. Because if we stick what we were doing, the shorter plays, maybe we get like I think one game this season, we were literally on the field, our offense, for 13 minutes of the quarter. And we ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. And if we do that, Kyle Shanahan, he's great at it. Kicking off, scoring before the half, and then getting the ball back. We go score down right before the half. We took a long time on the field. Now they get the ball back. The other team with like 2 minutes left before the half. We just scored, and we're getting the ball back. Or we score in 4 minutes because we threw deep balls. The other team gets the ball with 6 minutes to go in the half. They get an opportunity to maybe get 3. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I actually do agree with that. My counter to that, because that's football. Faithful, is you have to control the clock, and Kyle is one of the best, I think, in the league at doing that.
Definitely.
But right now we don't do any other deep pass plays, right? So we can still do our 12, 13 play, 14 play drives, 10, 11 minute drives, but sparingly throughout the game as a gut punch or the knockout blow. We have the ability to, on one drive, boom, 3 plays, 1 run, 2 runs. It's third and, or maybe it's fucking 1st and 10. After that, we go to run play action again down the field 40 yards, touchdown or something like that.
Maybe that'll help us too. Since everyone, especially now, since everyone is expecting the shorter pass or the run or the kind of medium pass, maybe once, or twice, maybe every 3 drives or every drive, give it a shot. Depending on if we can do that or not. So yeah, I think that is a good point there.
Thank you. So that's what I mean.
That'll also be good with putting teams out early, getting a big lead early on.
Yeah,
if we go out,
if
we go out and we
never put teams away.
5, if we go out and score in 5 plays because we just threw deep bombs, our defense goes, gets a stop, and then we turn around and do it again. We're up 14-0 with 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And then now and then against our defense, it's already hard for a team to try to climb back because they're down 14 already.
That game is almost over.
Yeah.
We get up by 14, Faithful,
we
with
run
our
the ball
defense,
the rest of the game.
And then we run the ball the rest of the game. And they are fighting from behind the whole time because our offense is a little quicker and a little more powerful. And I don't know that
those deep shots. Yeah, they're fighting.
I don't know that we can do that with Brock. I just don't know that we can do that with Brock Purdy. But all right, so we spent a lot of time on Brock. And again, we talked about, all these weapons that we have on the team, whether they can possibly get deep or whether they are people who have to get the ball into their hands and then make things happen. So one person that does do that is George Kittle. George Kittle does a lot of things. There's a lot of things in the media too. He does a lot of things on your TVs and on your phones and on your Twitters, right? We love George Kittle. Does he love Trey Lance? Is what I want to know, though. Okay, now I saw something today. What video was that, son?
There's Talanoa. He was interviewing players.
Okay. Talanoa, who from, girl?
That's interesting. I didn't hear this.
Pardon me. Interviewing players. And he goes up to George Kittle and he says something to him. And he was like, our culture and blah, blah, blah. And almost everyone on this team likes each other outside the building. And when he said that, my heart just went like this. Like, it just opened up a little bit, cracked a little bit, because the first face that I saw was a face that's missing hair in the front. Right here. Trey Deasy. Trey Lance. You see, I have a son named Trey. I have a son named Damian. They have great. Now, we spell it correctly here. Trey doesn't spell it correctly. He adds a Y on the end of it. But it doesn't matter. Okay. Does George Kittle like Trey Lance? It doesn't matter. For me, I don't believe that he's very fond of him. One, because it's a weird dynamic, because I just want to say like you replace his girlfriend, then you won't like your replacement girlfriend. But no, that's not it. It's like, I don't know, you just moved his best friend out or kicked his roommate out of the apartment or some shit like that. Or I don't know. He replaced James is what I think my biggest gripe that I see George having with Trey Lance. He called him, he always calls him a kid, always says he's young. He hasn't really gotten behind him the way he did Brock. Now, he hasn't played with him either. He hasn't stayed healthy enough, whoever's fault it may be. But for me, I want to know what Faithful think. Do you think it's important? And do you think that there is anything there, or am I just being me and doing extra? What do you think, son?
So yeah, I think I definitely think there is something there. I think the way I would put it is that he likes Trey, but he doesn't have the same dynamic that he does with, say, Purdy or James, or the same dynamic or a dynamic that he should have with his quarterback.
Right.
And I think it does matter too. With anybody on the team, in order to play good, you have to be a team. Football is a team sport, so it definitely does matter. And I do think we will get there, especially if Trey starts the season and does better. I do think also you are being a little harsh on George, especially recently. You do it quite a lot. But I can see where you're coming from, for sure.
Thank you, son. I'm a Pisces. I'm emotional, good or bad. I'm emotional. Believe me, folks. And that's not sissified. That's not soft. SAWFT soft. That's not none of that shit. It's just when I feel something, I will let people know, good or bad. Believe me. So Trey, what do you think? Am I being too hard on George, like your brother said?
I don't know, because recently I've been starting to feel kind of the same way about. And George Kittle was just my favorite player. Like he was just. I love George Kittle, but then I started watching Nick Bosa, and George got injury prone all the time, and it was like there was nothing. But I don't think he dislikes Trey. Of course, I don't think he hates Trey Lance or dislikes him. I just think that he hasn't spent a lot of time with him, doesn't really know him. So, it's just like if there was some guy that you're working with, you don't talk to him a lot, you don't really know him, you don't work next to him a whole lot. They're just kind of there with you. You don't hate them, but they're not like one of your close friends or whatever. So I think that's how it is between those two right now. And I think that once the season starts, and they're with each other all day throughout the week, and then on Sundays when it really matters, they got to go out there. And because when Trey Lance was in for Jimmy 2 years ago, was Kittle hurt at that time?
Yes.
Kittle was hurt at that time.
Down.
So when Trey, and we know that Trey ended up getting hurt too.
They have not played together yet. They have not played with him.
They haven't really played together yet.
Right.
Game 1 against Chicago, and that was just a monsoon. That was ridiculous. And then, of course,
I don't count that game. Oh, sorry, son. Miss Fatima is still hanging with us. My lady. No, I'm not trying to be extra with you, man. No, but yes, sincerely, I appreciate that. Thank you. Trust me, I'm not soft. Am I soft, son? Thank you, son. Trey, your thoughts. Am I soft? Reestablish that. You don't need. All right. Yes. But anyway, okay, I agree. Okay, what were you saying? Were you just saying something?
No, I think I pretty much finished. Yeah. They just got to be more. Just got to get.
I think it is.
Get more comfortable.
I think they need to get more comfortable. And what do you, Faithful, think? Fatima, what do you think? Do you think that, or is this something new to you? Do you have any, feelings sprinkled in there with you anywhere that maybe George is a bit of an ass? Brock Purdy said live on TV to George Kittle last year after I think we beat the piss out of somebody. I can't remember who it was. I believe it was Sunday Night Football when Brock Purdy was the rock star at that moment, right? And they had an interview after the game, and it was on ESPN, and he ended up telling George, well, you know what? You talk too much, George. And not verbatim, but that's what he told him. You talk too much live on TV, because I think George Kittle does talk too much, and he does like to talk. He likes the sound of his voice. Now, I am a YouTuber, so I cannot talk, but he talks a lot. He will talk. If you ask him a question, he has 2 answers for you. Okay, so I don't think he dislikes Trey. Like you said, don't think he dislikes Trey. But I don't think he necessarily likes Trey yet. And he does not, I don't think he gives him enough support as the de facto and the person who's making the effort to be pretty much the face of our franchise. If you want to get an answer to what's going on for us and you want to see it on TV and not on YouTube in the 49ers press conference room, look for George Kittle. Go to your YouTube and just Google, write up George Kittle, and he'll be giving an interview to somebody about our team. He's the face of our team. He's the most prevalent in the media and the most well spoken, the most person who maybe have a chance to go into the media and be on your TVs when they're not playing football anymore. I think it's George Kittle, and I just don't think that he's given enough backing to Trey Lance, and he's kind of been like it's my little brother, And trust me, I have two of them. I know how to do it. It's just my little brother, he's just over there or whatever. Everybody, my sons are both very close to each other, and they have other brothers. They're all very close. But I was kind of like a big brother that was just there, just watch me. And that's kind of how George is. He hasn't really, and you don't got a baby. These are fucking grown men. But football, as Damien said, is a team sport, and the dynamic that you create with each player and in the locker room, I think, is really important.
Yeah, and I want to add to that. You said he treats Trey like he's his younger brother. And I think that is definitely true. But I also think that part of why people can't see Trey Lance as our quarterback one is because Trey might not see himself as that, right? And I think he's confident, but I definitely need him to be more confident in himself and kind of actually take the leadership role. And that's another thing that I think Purdy has over Trey. Or at least from what I've seen, is that Purdy is more confident and
100%.
I don't know. It just seems like Purdy is able to lead a team maybe, and then more than Trey, or not lead the team, but just more confidence than what Trey has. And I want to add another thing. Going back to Kittle, I think for me because I do see a lot of negative on Kittle, but I think for me, the reason that I feel more lighthearted towards him is just because he's a safety blanket for me in Madden. Yeah. So, I just pass it to him quite a lot.
Amen. That's because Kyle's offense is dumb. So I think Brock Purdy was really a product last year, more than anything, of our team. You see in the thumbnail, those players look sexy. Pause right there, okay? They look sexy in that row. Even Juice, who doesn't get the ball, right? But they add him because the first thing we heard of him from John, his name was offensive weapon. It wasn't even Kyle Juszczyk, right? We all heard that offensive weapon, and it went viral, and it was, John Lynch is so great, right? We have weapons. And Kyle is an offensive play calling genius. And George Kittle is one of them. If not, CMC may put him to bed this year. But if George is not the top real overall weapon that we have on offense, if you break it down, when you add in and say his blocking. But Christian throws touchdown passes. Mr. George Kittle, definitely go back and watch that. I would agree.
The one thing that, and it was this offseason, George Kittle, it rubbed me the wrong way. And this might have been why I started to just feel a little bit kind of distant towards him, was his whole, well, first of all, during the season, after we had won, I think it was Thursday Night Football against the Seahawks, and he just put on his Jimmy shirt immediately, even though Brock Purdy was his quarterback. Get well soon, 10. Come on, bro. And then during the offseason, he had said, there was a question asked, and I think it was, do you think Brock Purdy should be the starting quarterback? And it took him no time at all. He was like, oh, absolutely. I think if you go out there and you win 8 games, you deserve to be the starting quarterback. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because he's never played with Trey Lance, but he's ready to write him off for George Kittle already. He is. He
And
said
that wasn't even
Brock
the
should
question. by the way.
absolutely. What was the question then? Because if it wasn't, then that
Yeah,
was.
he asked him a different question.
What was the question he was asked? Do you know?
Yeah,
Do you know the question that was asked?
yeah. He. Well, I mean, no, that was you. You had it right on track. But the guy, the person worded it weird. So he asked him a
Oh,
question that was like that, and then Kittle immediately said Brock, and then the interviewer said no. I meant like, do you think he will be ready to start? And so yeah, it wasn't even the question he was really asking, but George immediately answered, yeah,
and
Purdy
he
is our
took
guy.
no time. He said Purdy's
Yeah.
ready. Purdy should be number one. He believes Purdy should be number one. You go out there, win games. You deserve to be the starting quarterback, even if this other guy has potential to be better, but you've never seen it because you've never played with him, and he's only played in like 5 games. Come on, bro. Really? He's on your team, and you just wrote him off that fast like that? Yeah, that definitely rubbed me the wrong way, and that was recent too. So
Who the fuck do you think you are, George? Who? See, this is why every day, literally every single day, George, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on in my life, because the 49ers, other than these two, is these two, and then it's my mom, and then it's the 49ers. Okay. I try to not be upset with you, George, but it's things like this. It's things like this. It's you being at WrestleMania. And once again, subscribe to the channel, please. We will be live streaming with us. Come hang out, watch Money in the Bank with us on Saturday, 12 o'clock. If you have the cock, and I'm not talking about Brock Purdy, I'm talking about the Peacock app on your phones and tablets and in your
Smart TVs.
smart TVs. Thank you, son. Fire sticks, all that shit. Your play, even on the play, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Your consoles, if you have the Peacock app, come hang out with us, watch wrestling with us on Saturday. It will be just as fun as this has been, believe me, if not more, because we'll be watching something together. It's a watch along. So he was on WrestleMania, which we were doing a watch along on for that day as well. Okay. And boom, all of a sudden, George Kittle in the front row. Then George Kittle on the floor, on the mat, in the ring, on the ropes. Not running routes, not lifting weights, in the ring. And running his mouth saying Brock Purdy is. Yeah, he's a start. I didn't even ask you that, George. So that's where my problem comes in, Faithful. And I'm sorry. I still do have love for George. But the Get Well 10 shirt.
While you have another quarterback in who's doing better than 10.
While 13 is playing. Right?
Where was the Get Well 5?
Oh, damn it, thank you, son.
You were in that game when he got hurt. Where was the Get Well 5?
10, Get Well 10 and 5, but then they try to say the Georgia fans, the sycophants online said that the 5 was actually written in the Get. So it's a mystery. It's a Niners mystery.
Okay.
The 5, if you go back and look it up on your YouTubes or on your Googles, George Kittle Get Well 10 shirt, and then the controversy of why not add Get Well 10 and 5, Get Well 15. Get Well 15. We would have figured it out.
It only took him 10 weeks. It only took him 10 weeks to wish Trey the best after his season-ending injury. But it took Jimmy, what was that, the next week? 2 weeks on live prime time television?
I think it was after we
right on Thursday Night Football. No, yeah, I think it was Thursday Night Football in Seattle. And I think it was in Seattle after we had just beat Seattle. That was after the Bucks game. So 2 weeks after Jimmy got hurt. But then how long ago did Trey get hurt?
Trey had been hurt
against
for 6
Seattle.
years at that point in time. He hadn't said a word about it. Why?
Are we facing the Raiders? Oh, wait, we can't. No.
Preseason, we're facing the Raiders.
Wait, we can?
We're facing the Raiders in the preseason. Trey, are you paused, son?
No.
Okay, go ahead. What are you saying?
I was just saying where was the get well 5 against Seattle too. Of all teams, you want to bring that out. Trey got hurt against Seattle, but then the next time we go play Seattle, you want to wish Jimmy well, but didn't say a thing about Trey Lance. Of course, there was the whole you hate to see that for him. Hope it gets better after the game. But I mean, you went out and you went to the locker room, put a shirt on over your pads, came back out to do an interview, just so that everybody could see that, because it was live. It was live television. That was a national game that everybody was going to see. It's gross, Gil.
And let me tell you folks something about 10 to end this segment of the show. 10 didn't give a damn about any of you. He didn't give a damn about me. He didn't give a damn about George. I loved 10 back in 2018, 17, whatever the fuck that was, the 5 games of fury, right? I fell in love with him too. But as I have said for 2 years now on this channel, in a relationship, at some point in time, you start to see that the person that's on your right or left is not giving you the same love that you give to them. And circa 2020, February, I realized that James did not love me as much as I loved him. That's when he ceased being Jimmy and became James. He didn't give a damn. He wasn't anywhere near. You know why he wore that shirt? Because he was, boom, out of here. Nowhere near the team. Rehabbing on his own. Off season, gone, jet flying, limousine riding, right? No contact. Kyle will say it to you. Somebody, that stupid ass Matt Mayoko. See, I'm getting heated. Stupid ass Matt Mayoko. Have you talked to James? James doesn't talk to us in the off season. That's Kyle's answer. How would I talk to him? He doesn't answer his phone. He didn't give a damn about us. But yet George was hugging his nuts on national TV with a handwritten Get Well 10 shirt.
Jimmy had been like this for a long time. It was a whole meme or whatever.
Exactly.
Kittle kept saying, Jimmy doesn't answer my text messages. And that was like 2 years ago when we were trying to win the Super Bowl. Jimmy doesn't ever answer my text message. Come on, bro. But you love him more than anything. That's not a good
leader, by the way. It's not a good teammate, let alone leader.
Thank you. It's not a good leader. Which, in my heart, despite what the world apparently thinks, except for football players that are not, well, I guess the 49ers. Ask the Patriots. Ask that twin and White Mike, whatever, that wide receiver. Ask them what they think of James. It's out there. It starts with a B. But I think that's not a good leader, personally. You know, he didn't get the players together. Why are we talking about him? He's where I currently reside, not on our team. Fuck you, James. Frosty, what's happening, man? It's been months. Great to see you. Thank you for stepping up. Please hit the like button. We're talking Niners. We're talking how special we are, Frosty. How have you been? More importantly, brother, good to see you. And thank you to everybody. Special thank you to Miss Fatima for riding, for stepping up onto the platform tonight and just staying on that bitch. So right now, 4,000. 4,000 is the number that I want to see combined. And I don't care how Christian gets it. I would prefer it be on the ground and not in the air. But I want to talk about literally. And now if he doesn't both, hey, more power to you, Christian. Bless us, as I always say. Bless us. Give it to us, Christian.
8,000 yards?
Huh?
8,000 yards?
No. Well, that would be 5,000 as a team minimum. But Christian having 1,000 in the air and 1,000 on the ground. I think Christian McCaffrey can do both. I think he could be 2,000.
He's done it before.
1,000 on the floor.
Didn't
and
he get that this year?
He got quite a bit of that. No,
I think he had 1,000. Yeah, and then 800 or 900.
Yes.
And he started with us, week 6?
He started with us.
He's done it. He's done it before with Sam Darnold, I think.
Before.
With Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield.
The question about that bounds really is getting the ball to all four.
Right.
It's just not
Was
going
it
to
Sam
happen.
Darnold?
I mean, it was
Okay,
either.
so
I'd probably say it was Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield, but it was one of the two. Okay, I think they just dropped off. That is crazy. But the thing is, getting the ball to all four, we are really going to see this season if these guys are the team first or if they're themselves first. We're going to see if these guys are willing to take less on the stat sheet just so that the team can win. That's going to see if we can. They're going to put the team first or themselves first, especially this season because there's so much talent now, and if we're still doing those 13 play drives and not those deep bombs, there's going to be a lot less stats for a lot more people. So, and we are a run first team, so Christian's going to get his stats, but our receivers, and we know Kittle likes to block, so we don't have an issue there. But are our receivers going to be team first or themselves first, their stats first? I think we're going to see this season how they really feel.
is that going to be with Brock or with Trey? That's really the point of my question. Or even Sam Darnold, if he gets down to that.
I hope not.
Thank you,
Because
Mr.
then we're riddled with injuries again.
Can Brock Purdy get them in our offense, in the basis of our offense? Can he get them all 1,000 yards apiece? Even Christian, if Christian can he run for 1,000? We are a run first team. I think Christian McCaffrey can run for 13 easy, 1,400 in our offense. Forget his receptions, but can he get Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo 1,000 yards receiving apiece?
Well, he did get Kittle his most touchdown season.
That's a lot to ask. That's a lot to ask from him because if that's 3,000 yards right there throwing, and then on top of that, we got to count in them getting extra yards, and then or just in the air. Because that's a lot to ask from Brock Purdy. He'd have to get He'd have to have 5,000 yards if
5,000 yards.
All four of them are gonna have over 1,000. That's over 1,000 to them right there. And then you got, if we want to bring in Ray or Danny Gray at some point or Juwan Jennings, that's a lot to ask from Brock Purdy to get all four of them 1,000 yards in the air. Plus, then we're a run first team. We're probably not running the ball as much. If Brock Purdy has almost 5,000 yards, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. I don't even know if Kyle Shanahan is even thinking about that. He's probably thinking, let's get CMC 2,000 rushing yards this year.
Yes, he could be thinking that. I think I would be happy if he cracks 15. If he just really puts foots in asses. If he gets 1,500 yards in 17 games, that's like you both are getting, approaching 20 touchdowns. What did he get? Did he get 20 last year?
He had 19.5. 19.5. I think did that tie that record? Did he get 20.5? I think
it was 20 and a half.
I think he got 20 and a half and tied the record
20 and a half.
49ers. Yeah.
I think the record was 20. It's not 22?
No, that's the NFL record. It was the 49er franchise record.
Alden Smith. He tied Alden Smith. So that's Bosa getting 20 sacks in 17 games. If he got 1,500 yards for me in 17 games, he kicked ass. I said that's Bosa over. So, but you get my point. I want just close to the amount of touchdowns or 100-yard games, basically, in essence, as you do the games that we have. Touchdowns, sacks. I think we have 17 games. You need to have 15 touchdowns or 1,500 yards or 15 sacks minimum. Almost every game you get that one thing that you're known for. And he gets 1,500, I'll be happy. He gets 2,000, we won the Super Bowl likely. I don't see how we didn't win the Super Bowl. He gets 2,000 yards rushing. But okay, so Brock, I like you said, basically I do think it's 5,000 yards. Do you agree with that? He'd have to have a 5,000. And I mean, okay, fine. If Kittle just gets, CMC gets 1,000 yards rushing. Fuck his 1,000 yards receiving, maybe 500, 600, whatever. Because we have Jawan, we have Ray getting 300 a season, maybe, or whatever the case is. We have
Debo rushing,
Ronnie Bell, Debo rushing. There's a lot of plays that we have, and that can anybody, can even Trey, yes, can either one of them get them 1,000 yards? Just those receivers. In we can break it down to Brandon, Kittle, and Debo. Can they get a receiving a piece this season with either one of our quarterbacks?
I think it's definitely doable. We really kind of had that last season.
Yeah,
I know Ayuk had over 1,000.
Right.
I think Debo had like 800, but he had like 600 rushing or 500 rushing, something like that.
Right.
Kittle had over 1,000, I believe, and then he had his most touchdown season. But I mean, 5,000 yards is kind of a lot to ask, especially because it is his first full season. For Trey too. That is a lot for rookies.
Once you start pushing 5,000 yards, you should be looking to break the record for passing yards in the season.
Yes.
What was that?
Like I said, I'll take away the Christian receiving a lot of yards, and then everybody else bring up that, because you're looking at a 4,000, 4,200, 4,000 is not James has never had that. He has a 39.89 1 year, 39.81 or some shit. Like 4,000 is what you need. I think is the minimum. Then you get your 44, 45, 48, shit like that, pushing 5,000. That's when you got big boy numbers.
And we have the team to do that too.
That's my point, is that we have the players to have a quarterback sitting on 4,500 yards receiving. I mean passing. Yeah. We do, and 30 touchdowns, minimum 30s. Another thing that James never did. 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards should be the minimum for a quarterback, in my opinion. And I don't know if Brock has that in. I think he has that in him. I think that's his ceiling. As a matter of fact, a 4,000 yard season and 30 touchdowns. The two things that James never did for us one season. That we haven't had a 30 touchdown passer since Jeff Garcia. Did you know that, faithful? We haven't had a quarterback pass for 30 touchdowns in a 17. That's 1.75 touchdowns per game. We haven't had a quarterback throw for 30 touchdowns since Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, that's rough.
Look it up.
That's rough.
And I think Brock Purdy's ceiling is 4,030. I think Trey.
But on that,
if he gets,
I know we want Brock or Trey. We want our quarterback to be a superstar, but they don't even have to be. Literally all we have been needing for this team to win it all is a good, consistent quarterback, and we haven't had that. We want a superstar, but we literally just need a good, consistent quarterback. That's literally all.
We need 4,030.
That's what we need. We just need the bare minimum. And like we said, Jimmy has not been giving that to us. With this team and how good it is, all we need is the bare minimum to win a Super Bowl, win multiple.
We've been making it to the NFC Championship with below the bare minimum. So give us the bare minimum, and the sky's the limit.
If we have a good, consistent quarterback, there is no stopping this team. It'll be great for the highlight reel and the stats if Trey or Brock is just the next Mahomes. But, I mean, if you look at the 5,000-yard passers, it's Brady, Peyton, and Mahomes. All three of them, did they have amazing run game, an amazing defense? Well, maybe, Brady when he did it with the Bucks.
Maybe Brady had, And if he had 5,000 with the Patriots, he likely had an amazing defense. Maybe not so much a run game.
Yeah, but did they have those teams when they did it? Mahomes still doesn't, and I don't think he has ever had an amazing run game with him. Peyton Manning, when he did it and he won the Super Bowl that year against the Panthers, he didn't have an amazing. I don't even know who the running back was on that team. And then
that was a defense.
Tom Brady. Yep, Tom Brady had Peyton Manning had a great defense that year, and didn't have that good of a running game. And then same thing with Tom Brady. Their starting running back was uh,
Anybody.
playoffs Lenny.
They had a whole bunch.
Anybody.
They had a ton over
They
the
had like
six
it was
years.
like
They
2
had a
or
different
3,
running back almost every year. Yeah.
but they had a good defense, and Tom Brady was able to just sling the ball. See, with us though, we have the number one run in the league. We have the best run game in the league, the best offensive line, the best running back, the best blocking tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And even our receivers can lay blocks.
We have the best
Right.
blocking
So-
receivers in the league.
If despite all that, if Brock Purdy does get 4,500 yards and CMC gets over 1,000, I mean, that means we're getting like 40 points a game. We got to be at that point.
Yeah.
We got to be. We got to be getting over 40 points. We got to be averaging 40 points a game for that, because that's a lot. CMC gets over 1,000 and Brock Purdy gets 4,500.
And if we're not, then that means we're not doing well in the red zone, which is very bad.
Right. That means that we get to the red zone and we get field goals. Well, faithful folks, for team especially, because I believe you might still be watching. I feel that in my heart. Again, like I said, and I apologize if this is not the first time that you've been in the comments, but it's definitely the first time I remember. So thank you to you, to everyone. Most important, thank you to my sons. Just as much. Thank you to you all and my sons. The show is because of you all. Our channel is because of you all, and we really appreciate you. Sons, I love you too. Thank you so much. Too. This was a great show. And what I feel really to cap it off is we do have the top weapons in the NFL. I believe that we do across the board when you add the tight end and then the receivers and the running back. I believe that we have the top set of weapons in the NFC or AFC. Doesn't matter which team. And again, as both my sons said, and I think all of you faithful agree and believe and feel, is that we just need consistency at the quarterback position. And even
one more question, though. Once you finish,
yes, please.
I have one more question.
Yes. And anybody watching, anybody have any questions to ask us, or any questions you want to answer? That's what this was supposed to be all about. But consistency. We didn't have James was an inconsistent quarterback. He was consistently inconsistent. I think it was one of his biggest gripes. So if we get that this year, I think that the league, especially the NFC, is wide open, and we should be in the Super Bowl. What was your question, son?
If Trey Lance hits his ceiling, we all know what Trey Lance's ceiling is and what that could be. If he hits that, do you think this will be the greatest team ever assembled of all time?
It could be the setup, the people that we have. That could be. If so, that's 6 Hall of Famers with the thumbnail and the quarterback on the offense,
and then the coach also going
into
the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it could be the greatest team ever assembled. Yes, I do. I think so. George Kittle in all of his glory. Deebo, Brandon, Christian. Christian is probably definitely going. If Brandon can turn it on, or if his quarterback can, and his coach too. I think some of our play calling are Kyle, the way he likes to call the plays. You got to get open and get down the field after. He's not going to it's not air raid. It's just not going to ever be that. But Brandon is a potential Hall of Famer. He has Hall of Fame talent. George Kittle, Christian.
Hall of Fame mentality.
He has a Hall of Fame mentality. Well said. Absolutely, he does. Brandon Ayuk has a Hall of Fame mentality also. So then if Trey Lance hits the ceiling, Juice is going to the Hall of Fame as a tight end. It may not be a first ballot, as a fullback, but fullbacks do get in, and the ones that go to all the Pro Bowls or whatever, they're going to get in. Right. Juice is probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. And if Trey Lance hits his ceiling for 10, 12, 15 years, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. So then that's everybody not on the line.
Defensive side.
And
that was his offense. 6 on offense. 6 Hall of Fame.
Sorry, that's just offense from the Thunder. Yeah, the defense. Fred Warner, Ward, Huff, Ward, Warner.
Our star.
Nick Bosa.
He's gone, Daddy. I'm sorry. That's what I was getting to. Bosa. He's Alshire is now Houston Texan or
I meant Bosa.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
And then Trent Williams. We didn't even say Trent Williams.
And we have Hargraves on our team now.
And we have Hargraves on our team now, who's probably going to put in at least 4 or 5 seasons with us. But he's on the team this year. We're talking about this year's team even more so.
Right.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima. It was a great time having you, and I sincerely mean that. Sincerely. We probably haven't been around in a while, but we're going to try getting back to our lives over the next few weeks. So please subscribe to our channel, folks. We sincerely appreciate everyone who subscribes to us. This means a lot to me and my sons, and they know that this really does mean a lot to me, this channel. So thank you all. We have Hargraves now on the team. We have a lot of potential Hall of Famers on our team. We need to get a chip, at least one, for this squad before George leaves. George is 30 this year.
Before Trent leaves.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. If we don't win on the Super Bowl this year, Trent Williams might be done. If we don't
need to win a Super Bowl this year.
Even if we win a Super Bowl this year,
he might be done.
Trent Williams could be done. Trent Williams
I think more, even if we win this year, then he will be for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think if
I don't think he's never won a Super Bowl. So that's what he's trying to get. He's never won
too good to
he may not even played in the playoffs.
I don't think he's ever been to the Super Bowl. So
he's never been to he never been to Super Bowl. I don't know if he was a playoff veteran, a playoff player before he got to us. I don't think Washington wants the playoffs.
I don't think so either.
So I think that Trent Williams is this may be his last season one way or the other. So we need to get it done this year. And I don't know what other than I guess the 1 year we had a consistent quarterback, we went to the Super Bowl. And even with problems and issues, we have a strong team because of Kyle and John. As much as I will dump on them sometimes.
John already a Hall of Famer.
John's a Hall of Famer. Kyle's going to go to the Hall of Fame, probably. Like, if he gets the title for sure. Well, this could be definitely the greatest team ever assembled. If we get a chip this year, or over maybe 2 in the next 3 years, or if we go back again to the championship.
Yeah, I think if we go back to back, that's when that conversation. If we go back to back, it'll be the end of that conversation. This might be
have that conversation
ever assembled.
And this has been the greatest conversation I've had in a while. Both of my sons and all of you. So thank y'all so much for watching us. We sincerely appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. Platform 246. We take you anywhere you want to go. And right now we need to talk while football is gone. It's 70 days until football comes. But July 15th, rookie training camp, mandatory training camp, July 15th. So really just little less than 2.5 weeks away before football is going to be back. So please subscribe to our channel. We will be live streaming all summer long. All the shit that's going down will be here. And we do live stream during every single game. And it gets pretty crazy because we love our Niners. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Niner gang or don't bang. Sons, any final words? Or we good?
Let's go Niners. Put in the work. And, we're gonna win.
I couldn't say it better. Go Niners. Put in the work. Steve-O Supremo coming in at the last minuto. What's up, Steve-O? I know that's you. Yee! Shout to Kelts. Shout to Kelts Chronicles, my man. And shout to Steve-O Supremo. Steve-O, we're out of here, brother. Hit the like button, Steve-O, now or later. Leave a comment after the stream is off, Steve-O, so that the video stays in rotation. It stays in the algorithm. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And we need the watch hours. So please share the video around to a friend. We appreciate all of you. See y'all sometime soon. And again, go Niners. Y'all be safe.